Hello, guys. So we are with the fourth part of our recordings for the difficult questions or the harder questions of the SAT from the SAT sweep. So we'll start off with this one. This one saying, sorry. So for every this is energy per gram of micronutrients. So protein, fat, carbohydrates. These are the food calories. These are the kilojoules. Okay. Now this question is saying that uh, if there's 180 food calories, so 180 food calories, you have got P grams of protein, F grams of fat, and C grams of carbohydrate. Okay, so that's basically what you have. So then what is the correct relation between them? Fine. So we can see here per gram of protein gives you 4 food calories. So P grams would give us 4P food calories. Fat gives us 9. So per gram, okay, per gram gives us 9 food calories. So that means here F grams would give us 9F and carbohydrates again 4. So it would be 4C. So we have the relationship this. Now, if you look at the answer choices, all of them are F equals. So we need to separate that F out. So 9F equals, we'll have 180 minus 4 times P plus C. Divide by 9. So 20 minus 4 over 9 times P plus C. So that would be 20 minus 4 over 9 times P plus C, option B. All right, let's look at the next one. So it says an object hangs from a spring. The formula L equals, so L equals 30 plus 2W relates the length in centimeters of the spring to the weight. Okay. So the following is the meaning of 2. So now this is length, right? If this is length, then everything here should be also length because length cannot be equal to something else, isn't it? So L must relate to L. Now W is the weight. So 2 must be something of the sort length divided by weight, length divided by weight, multiplied with weight, W would give us length again. So basically 2 is effectively the slope, right? So see y equals mx plus c, right? Mx here plus c. And slope m is what? Change in the length by change in the weight. So change in length by change in weight is what 2 is. So let's look at the options. A says the length with no weight attached. That would be wrong because if no weight attached, then 30 will be the length, right? So it's not the length, it is length by weight ratio. Okay, that's what is important. B says it's the weight of the object that will stretch to 30 centimeters. Now, W is the weight, 2 is not the weight, right? We can't multiply weight with weight to get length, right? So that won't be correct. C is the increase in weight for each 1 centimeter increase in length. It's actually the other way around. It is increase in length for every gram weight or whatever increase in weight. So it is actually not correct. D says it's the increase in length for each 1 Newton increase in weight. Yes, that is the correct answer. So it's length by weight multiplied with the weight will give us length and then we'll have the correct relation. So change in length by change in weight means it's the increase in length for every unit increase in weight. So that's option D. Okay, it's just testing whether you know the concept of slope. Let's go to the next one. So we have this equation and it says that there are no solutions. As we know, for no solutions, the rule is the coefficient of x terms must match, the constant terms must not. Because if the constants also match, then it becomes the same equation that would have infinitely many solutions. So we have a equals 9 and we have ab not equal to 5. But a is already 9, so that means 9b is not equal to 5. And hence that basically means that b is not equal to 5 over 9. Right? So A is 9 and B is not equal to 5 over 9. So 1 and 3. So that's option D. All right, let's go to the next one. This one says how many liters of 25% salt saline solution? So let's say X liters of 25% saline solution is added to 3 liters of 10% saline solution. That gives you X plus 3 liters, right? That's the total volume. and it's given 15% saline solution. So how much salt do you have here? 25% of x, right? So 0.25x plus how much salt do you have here? 10% of 3, right? So that's 0.1 times 3 equal to how much salt do you have here? 15%. So that's 0.15 times x plus 3. Let's just quickly solve this. 0.25x plus 0.3 equals 0.15x plus 0.45. That gives you, if you take the x's to one side, 0.1x equals 0.15. Or in other words, x is 1.5. So how many liters? 1.5 liters. So that is your answer. Okay, let's go to the next question. A science teacher is preparing the 5 stations of a lab. Each station will have either A or B, but not both. Now A requires 6 spoons of salt, B requires 4. Now it says X is the number of stations that will be set up for experiment A. So you need 6x spoons of salt, and for B, the remaining stations would be for B. So 5 stations are there. So that means here they are saying X stations. So here it must be 5 minus X stations. So the total 2 spoons of salt would be basically 4 times 5 minus X here. So they're asking the total number of teaspoons of salt required. So we basically just have to add them. So it is 6x plus 20 minus 4x. So that comes out to be 20 plus 2x. So that's the third option. Okay. Next. So it says that for groups of 25 or more people, a museum charges $21 per person for the first 25. So it's 21 times 25. And then $14 per person for each extra, the rest. Now it's saying that there are n people in all. Okay. So 25 people are already accounted for here. So out of the n people, 25 are here. So how many are remaining? So the remaining would be n minus 25. So this would be the total charge. So that's how much? 21 times 25. So let's write that 21 times 25 plus 14n minus 14 times 25. Okay. Which basically is, if you take these two, 25 common. So 21 minus 14 times 25 plus 14n. So that's 7 times 25 plus 14n. You can just go ahead and use a calculator. Okay. Here I am just using, not using one. So 7 times 25 is 175 plus 14n. So that is your answer. So 14n plus 175. That's answer A. Alternatively, you can just do simple plug in 25 people, n is 25, and check which option gives you 525. Okay, because 25 times 21 is basically what you need. So if you plug in, you will get that answer as well. I hope this is clear now. Let's move on. But one thing here, just don't try to plug in n as 1, because then it won't work. It's given here n is 25 or more, right? So you have to plug in 25 to verify if you want to verify the answer choices. All right, let's go to the next one. It says that a new graph of 3 linear equations is created using the system of equations shown here. Okay. One is x plus 4y is negative 16. So they're asking how many solutions will the resulting system of the equations have. Okay. So if you look at the system of equations, let's see what's this equation like. This equation. Okay. So here, if you see, one of the points here is 5, -4. So that means -4 comma 5. And one of the points is here, which is x is 8 and y is 2. So what's the slope? 5 minus 2 upon -4 minus 8. So that is 3 over -12. So that's -1/4. And the y-intercept is 4, right? So that means your equation is y equals -1 over 4x plus 4. So if I were to simplify, 4y is -x plus 16, or in other words, x plus 4y, x plus 4y is 16. So that is my equation here, right? So that is not this equation, right? It's a different equation. So this equation is separate. There is x plus 4y equal to -16 as another equation. Okay. So a new graph of three linear equations is created using the system of equations shown. So these two equations are already shown. And a third equation like this. Okay. So where is that line passing from? So let's check that. If I were to plug in x as 0, I'll get y as -4. So I'll get this. Okay. This point. And now we need to check, because these two are already intersecting here. Does this line, the new one, intersect at this point or not? So here, if I plug in x as 8 and y as 2, does it satisfy? So if you plug in x as 8 and y as 2, you get 8 plus 8 is 16, but that's not correct because you need -16 here. So that means this line that you have would pass through some other point, most likely like this. Okay. Why did I say like this? Because these two lines are going to be parallel. Why will it be parallel? If you look here, the slope of this line we had calculated as -1/4. Here, if you were to redo this, 4y is -x minus 16. So y would be -x by 4 minus 4. So that means, see, it's the same slope, -1/4. Means these two lines are parallel. And therefore, this intersection will definitely not be the same intersection where this line intersects this. So now they're saying what is the result solutions have of the resulting system of three equations. Okay. So system of three equation solution means it's that point where all three pass. Okay. All three have to pass through that. But then all three are not passing through that, right? The third line does not pass through 8, 2. Okay. So that means there is no solution. So there is 0. To make this simple, what we just now discussed, what you could have just said is one of the points is already here where the two lines are passing. If this also passes through this, then it's fine. We have one solution. If it does not, then it's not fine. There is no solution for all three. Okay. System of three equations does not have a solution in that case. So if you look carefully, 8, 2, we just plug in here. X plus 4y equals -16. Let's just plug in x as 8 plus 4 times 2. That's not -16, means this point does not satisfy. So there is no solution. Just this much is enough to answer. Okay. I hope this is clear. Let's go to the next one. So we have a quadratic function defined here. Clearly, it is in the form y equals ax minus h whole square plus k. So that means the vertex would be hk. So here the vertex would be 4 minus 32. And we have two positive, means the graph is going to be open upwards. Okay, that's basically what we can infer straight away by looking at this. Now it says that in the xy plane, the graph intersects the x-axis at 2 points, 0, 0 and t0. Okay. So it's saying like it's something like this. So it's open upwards, intersecting at 0, 0. The vertex is at 4 minus 32. They are asking, the other point is t0. They're asking what is t. Now we know that the vertex is basically the line of symmetry. Okay. So that means if x is 0 here and x is t here, their average should be 4. So 0 plus t upon 2 is 4. So t is therefore 8. We just need to do this much to get the answer. We don't need to solve the quadratic and figure out anything. Okay. Saves time. Let's check the next one. So we have to solve this equation. Positive solution. So we see that it's twice of something and thrice of the same thing. So that's important. We can just club them together. So we get 5 times of that thing. That is that mod of 4 minus x is 25. Just like pure addition, we can just add them. Divide by 5. Mod 4 minus x. Absolute value of 4 minus x is 5. Remove the absolute value and put plus minus in front. That's how we solve. Okay. Remove the absolute value sign. Put plus or minus. Solve once for the positive, 4 minus x is 5. Once for the negative, so negative 4 minus x is 5. Clearly here x is negative 1. Here 4 minus x is negative 5. So x comes out to be 9. We need the positive solution, so our answer is 9. All right. If you plug in, check. 4 minus 9 is negative 5. Absolute value is 5. 5 2s are 10 plus 5 3s are 15. They add up to 25. Next. So we have this. They are saying one of the solutions is 1 plus root k. What is the value of k? So you can just figure out the formula, the roots formula, and figure out how much it is. So x would be minus b. So minus of negative 2 plus minus root of b square, which is 4, minus 4ac over 2a. So that comes out to be 2 plus minus root of 40, like 4 plus 36. Now root 40 is 4 times root 10. So 4 goes outside as the 2. So 2 plus minus 2 root 10 over 2. So it is 1 plus minus root 10. So clearly root k is root 10. So the value of k is 10. Let's go to the next one. In the xy plane, a line with the equation 2y equals 4.5 intersects a parabola at exactly 1 point. The parabola's equation is this. So when we want to solve and say that there is only one intersection, we basically mean to say that there is only one solution. So when we have to solve, once you have y equals negative 4x squared plus bx, the other one is y equals 4.5 over 2, or in other words, it's 9 over 4, right? 4.5 is 9 over 2. We just set them equal to each other. So we have minus 4x squared plus bx equals 9 by 4, multiply by 4, negative 16x squared plus 4bx equal to 9. So bring the 9 this side. Now in a quadratic equation, if there is only one solution, the condition is b squared. In this case, b is 4b minus 4a. A is negative 16. C is negative 9. Should be, there is only one solution, so equal to 0. This is writing it down. Ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. One solution is b squared minus 4ac equal to 0. We are going to use it here. So that gives us, so this negative and negative cancel out. So that gives us 4b squared. So that's 16b squared equals, this goes on the other side, 4 times 16 times 9. So b squared is 36. So b is 6 or negative 6. But then b is a positive constant, it says. So b is 6 only. So the answer is 6. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we have a function here. It says that the given function models the number of advertisements a company sent to its clients, where x represents the number of years from 97, 0 to 5, and it's graphed in the xy plane. And they're saying what's the best interpretation of the y-intercept. So y-intercept means we plug in x as 0. So that would give us y to be just 9,000. So if x is 0, see what it's saying, where x represents the number of years since 1997. So that means what? If x is 0 means it is the year 1997. Okay. So the y-intercept is basically the number of advertisements in the year 1997. So the minimum estimated number of advertisements, the minimum estimated during the 5 years, then estimated number in 97 is 1708. None of them actually make sense. Here, this one is fine. The number of advertisements sent to its clients in the year 97 was 9,000. So that's the correct answer. All right, let's go to the next one. So now we have to solve this set of equations, right? So one we have x minus y is 1, then it's x plus y is something. So we just get rid of the y. We can just add them, or you can take out y from the first equation as y equals x minus 1 and substitute in the second one. But then you can just clearly see that if you were to add them, the y cancels out. So let's just do that. Add the equations. So we get 2x equals x squared minus 3 plus 1. So that's basically x squared minus 2. So x squared minus 2x minus 2 is 0. So they're saying what are the solutions? So we'll just use the formula here quickly. So x would be minus b. So minus of minus 2 plus minus root of b squared minus 4ac upon 2a. So that's 2 plus minus root of this thing becomes 8 plus 4 is 12 by 2. Now 12 is 4 times 3. 4 goes outside as a 2. So it's 2 plus minus 2 root 3 by 2. So it is 1 plus minus root 3. So they're asking which of these is a solution. So if x has two values now, so x is, we can write x, one value is 1 plus root 3, the other value is 1 minus root 3. And therefore, for this value, y would be, see from here, we have y equals x minus 1, right? So here y would be this 1 plus root 3 minus 1. So that's root 3. And here y would be 1 minus root 3 minus 1. So that will be minus root 3. So if you look at this option, 1 plus root 3 comma root 3 is there in the answer choice. So that is the solution. Okay, let's go to the next question. Yes, so it says that this equals this, and this is true for all x, means what? That these two sides are going to be identical. Okay, it's not about solving for x anymore. It's basically saying that, okay, you factorize the right hand side, you will get what is there on the left. So if you look carefully, the x cube term, which is there on the right side, 20, will come when you multiply this ax term with the 5x squared term. That's the only way you can get x cube. There's no other way of getting it. So that means 5a should be 20, comparing the x squared term. So that's a is 4. Now we need to get the value of b. So to get the value of b, so we'll need to basically see where do you have x squared terms, okay? So if I look at the x squared terms, 1x squared will come when you multiply this 5 with the 3. Okay, so we don't need to actually multiply the entire thing, okay? That's a waste of time. So how do you get the x squares? That's such a figure out. You get by multiplying 3 and 5, so that you get 15x squared once. And you also get ax with minus bx. So we get minus abx squared as well. Now look carefully, there is no way of getting an x squared anymore. Okay, this side x term must be multiplied with the x term only, and the constant has to be multiplied with the x squared only. So that's the only way. So the x squared coefficient is 15 minus ab, which is minus 9. That means AB here is 15 plus 9, so that's 24. But then that was basically the question anyways, so we already have the answer. So we don't need to solve for B again. We directly need the value of AB, we have got it. All right, let's go to the next one. So it's on exponents, so this is what? It's a square root of x to the power 5. So that we can write simply like this. And divided by x to the power 4 over 3. So I'm just simplifying the left-hand side. Is going to be x to the power 5 over 2 minus 4 over 3. Okay, let's write it like this. 5 by 2 minus 4 by 3. So that is x 6. 15 minus 8. So that's x raised to the power 7 by 6. Now this they're saying is x raised to the power a over b. So a by b is 7 by 6. Yep, that's done. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. So here we have an exponential equation kind of. So it says that fx is negative a to the power x plus b here. A and B are some constants. In the xy plane, the graph of y equals fx minus 12. So fx minus 12, therefore, the new function that is, would be negative a to the power x plus b minus 12. Y-intercept means here if I plug in x as 0 for this function, then my y value would be minus a to the power 0 plus b minus 12. So that's minus 1 plus b minus 12. So that's b minus 13. But then they're saying that the intercept is negative 75 by 7. So this is negative 75 over 7. That gives us b to be 13 added to this. So now 13 sevens and 91. 91 minus 75 would be 16. So that's b 16 by 7. Okay. Now, once we know the value of b and we know that a times b is 320 over 7. So a's value would be 320 over 7 divided by 16 over 7. So that's 320 over 7 times 7 over 16. So the 7 is gone, so you're left with 20. So the value of a is 20. So as you can see, there's a lot of manipulation here and there. But then if you have your concepts right, you know what an y intercept means. Okay. You should not have a problem in getting to the answer. Right. Let's go to the next one. So it's saying that this equation x is a solution. What's the value of x plus 5? Now, if you are smart enough to notice this, that what you have here, x squared plus 10x plus 25, is just x squared plus 2 times x times 5 plus 5 squared. So it's just x plus 5 whole square. So what they have given you is 1 upon x plus 5 whole square is 4. So if you take reciprocal, x plus 5 whole square is 1/4. Take the square root, x plus 5 would be half or negative half. They're asking which of these is possible. Obviously, the half is the one which is possible, right? You don't need to solve for x unnecessarily, then plug in x and find out x plus 5. All that is not required. But then this needs observation, right? Let's go to the next one. So again, so you have an exponential function. Fx is a to the power x plus b there. A and b are constants equal to fx as an x-intercept means if you put y as 0, okay, so then x would be 2. So that means we are basically saying, and also the y-intercept is given. That means that x is 0, y is minus 323. Let's first use that. That's easier. So put x as 0 and y is negative 323. That gives you negative 323 is a to the power 0 plus b, means minus 323 is 1 plus b. So that's b is minus 324. Now, using the x-intercept, when x is 2, y is 0. So we have 0 equals a squared plus b. That gives you a squared equal to minus b. That gives us a squared is then 324. So a would be plus or minus 18 because root of 324, 18 is 18 basically. 18 squared is 324. But then they are not asked for a. This was just in case you have that as a question, okay? So they had just asked what is the value of b. You already have that, right? So that's negative 324 as your answer. Also, one more point here, when you have solved this, keep in mind that in any exponential function, when you have a to the power x, this a cannot be negative because then the function has no sense. When you have fractional values of x, this will return sometimes imaginary values if you have a negative value of a. So even though you get plus minus 18, you will actually discard the negative sign and you'll have a equals 18 only, okay? But then anyways, that's beside the point. We already have our answer. B is minus 324. Let's go to the next one. So you just have to simplify this. They're saying that these are equal for all x greater than 2, y greater than 2, so that you don't plug in x as 2 because then that becomes undefined, okay? So you need to figure out what are the values of r and t. So we just simplify it. 2 over x minus 2 plus 3 over x plus 5. Let's just simplify. That gets multiplied here. On top, it becomes 2 times x plus 5. So that denominator is the same, plus 3 times x minus 2 there. and x minus 2 times x plus 5. We make the denominator same, so that we can add. So on top now we have 2x plus 10 plus 3x minus 6 over this thing. That gives you 5x plus 4 over that x minus 2 times x plus 5. Comparing with this, so we have 5x plus 4 equals rx plus t. So r is 5, t is 4, and hence rt is 20. That's your option 3. Let's go to the next question. So growth of a culture of bacteria, number of bacteria per milliliter is given. So they're saying it is increasing or growing at an exponential rate every day. So as you can see from here to here, it's 2 times. Then again, it should have been 10 times 10 to the power 5, which they have written is basically 1 times 10 to the power 6. So basically, it's doubled again, right? So it's doubling every day. So they're saying at this rate, on which day would it reach 5.12 times 10 to the power 6, most likely. That's what they have. No, not 6, I guess. That is 8. So we need 5.12 times 10 to the power 8 on which day? So I need to figure out that this will come by multiplying 2.5 times 10 to the power 5 with how many 2's? That would be the clue to my answer, right? How many 2's do we need? That would give me how many days I need. So if I were to just divide the number of 2's here, so 5.12 times 10 to the power 8 upon 2.5 times 10 to the power 5. So I have 10 cube on this side. So that would be 5120 divided by 2.5. So you can just open up your calculators and calculate. So 2.5 is 5 over 2. The 2 goes on top divided by 5. So that would be 10240 by 5. So that's how much? 2048. So now if you look carefully, 2048 is what power of 2 is what we need to figure out, right? 2048 is, so if you multiply 2's, 2 raised to 10 is 1024. 2 raised to 11 is 2048. That means we need to multiply 11 times, okay? 2. If I had multiplied 2 only once, I would have reached day 2. Okay, so 1 day after. If I had multiplied 2 twice, I would have reached day 3. So twice of 2 means 2 multiplications happen from day 1. So that's day 3. If I have to multiply it 11 times, to keep on multiplying 11 times, I will reach day 12. So that would be option D. Okay. So that is basically the calculation that you need to do. Let's go to the next question. So here we have a quadratic again. So it says that A and C are constants. Ax squared plus 4x plus c is the function. Opens upward. Vertex is hk. Okay, all that's good. K is negative. All right. And they're saying that f of negative 9 is equal to f of 3. So now f of negative 9 is equal to f3. So that means you're saying it's opening upward. F of negative 9. So that means minus 9 and 3 are symmetrically placed with respect to the vertex because that must be the line of symmetry. Okay. F of minus 9 and f of 3, same value. So that means the vertex, if it is hk, then h would be negative 9 plus 3 over 2. So that's negative 3. So the vertex is negative 3 comma k. So that means we can write fx to be a x minus minus 3. So that's x plus 3 whole square plus k. Okay. So if I were to expand this, that would give me a x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus k So that's ax squared plus 6ax plus 9a plus k. Now, we already have been given an equation. So this must be the same as ax squared plus 4x plus c. So the conclusion that we have is, therefore, number one, 6a equals 4. So a equals 4 by 6, which is clearly less than 1. So it says that a is greater than or equal to 1. So that's false. And now we have the other one, c. C is 9a plus k. Now let's just plug in 9a. So 9 times 4 over 6. Okay, 9a plus k. So it's k plus 6. So c is k plus 6. Okay. But we know that k is negative. So that means k plus 6 is actually less than, k is less than 0. So k plus 6 would be definitely less than 6. So that means c is less than 6. But then is c less than 0 as well? We can't say. It may be. It can be less than 6, becomes less than 0. It might remain at 2, 3, 4, whatever, and remains positive. So neither of them must be true, right? Neither of them. So option D. So the idea trick here was to express the function quadratic in terms of its vertex and then compare with the given expression. Okay, let's go to the next question. So this one says in the xy plane, you have 2y equals c means what? Y equals c over 2. Okay. And there is this other y equals negative 2x squared plus 9x. They intersect at one point. Means what? There is a single solution. So we have minus 2x squared plus 9x equals c over 2, setting them equal to each other. Multiply by 2, minus 4x squared plus 18x equal to c. So minus c is 0. One solution means b squared equals b squared minus 4ac. So minus 4ac is 0. So 324. So the negative negative is gone. This goes to the other side is 16c. You just need to divide and we have 324 by 16. So if you calculate, so that's 20.25. 320 by 16 is 20. 4 by 16 is 0.25. So we have 20.25. So that is our answer. Okay, let's go to the next question. So we have an equation like this, and then we have a function which is f of x plus 5. They're asking for what value of x does gx reach its minimum. Okay, so first let's figure out what is going to change. So whatever fx is, when you have done f of x plus 5 inside, this graph is going to shift left by 5. So whatever x value here you have, h, for the vertex hk, it just shifts left. This would now become h minus 5k. So we don't really need to figure out what is gx. What we can do is figure out where is fx minimum. So where is fx minimum? So the h for fx, h would be negative b divided by 2a. So that's negative 8. Simple. So this value is negative 8 comma k, goes this side, and it therefore becomes negative 13 comma k. So they're saying for what value of x does gx reach minimum? Negative 13 is the answer. So that is option A. Okay, so let us stop here for now. We'll continue with another video on the next set of questions.